It's Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. T. Swapna from Department of ECE. Delighted to welcome you all to the second day of our faculty development program on transforming education, integrating OBE and NEP 2020, where we continue to delve into the significant theme of higher education perspective of the National Education Policy 2020. Day one session yesterday, we had gone through the comprehensive overview of NEP 2020. Here, I am delighted to mention that we got excellent feedback and everyone is looking forward to today's session as it is more relatable to us. NEP 2020 envisions a holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary education system aimed at bringing out the unique capabilities of each student. It emphasizes critical thinking, creativity, and the integration of vocal education with mainstream education. These reforms are designed to make our higher education system more inclusive, accessible, and globally competitive. Today's session is tailored to provide us with deeper insights, tools to navigate this transition. I encourage you all to actively participate, ask questions, and share your experiences. Let us use this opportunity to collaborate and learn from one another. Thank you. Now, I request our speaker, Dr. P.S. Rama Srikant Garu, to take over the session. Sir, please.
So, very good morning to all.
Good morning,
Namaskaram. Thank you for your kind words of encouragement, Dr. Swapna Garu. So, moving forward, I guess most of the participants who were there yesterday, like it was a sort of encouragement for me. Like I've gone through the feedback which is given. Hope I'm clearly audible, Dr. Swapna. Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
Very
so much.
clear.
Yeah, so we'll move forward as Dr. Swapna has rightly pointed out. Like yesterday, we have discussed a complete overview of NEP 2020, and maybe around 80%, 80 to 85% of the people who are registered for the workshop are from higher education background. We are working in either degree colleges or professional colleges, right? So what I feel is this is more relevant to us. So that's what the aim of the session is. So with that, a brief intro, like I'll move forward with today's discussion. Yeah, I hope my screen is clearly visible to all the participants.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, so like moving forward, yesterday's discussion, if all of you are present or at least some of you are present, the complete overview of NEP runs with the backdrop. And what's the backdrop? Three important terms we have seen, which appear the highest number of times. One is quality. The second one is multidisciplinary. Third one is holistic. The same thing now it percolates into the higher education aspect as well. So the part 2, or you call chapter 2, whatever you speak of NEP 2020 is the higher education. Yeah, is the higher education section. So it deals with several topics, right? Several topics, guidelines, right? Gives us guidelines how to take forward, how to improve the quality, enhance the quality, right? So it starts from defining quality universities and colleges, then how to restructure the existing system, then holistic multidisciplinary, right? Various things, internationalization, then quality academic research, imagining vocational education, teacher education, many aspects are there. And finally, curbing commercialization of education, right? So in today's presentation, because moving forward, like there are various aspects of which will be uncovered as we progress in the workshop. Like if you see catalyzing academic research, this itself is a separate topic in the further discussions. And then we have internationalization, online and distance education, right? That itself is another separate topic. So those topics like which are going to occupy a unique place as we move forward in the workshop, probably my focus on them will be less. Probably I'll give a glimpse on those things, but then the other aspects like which doesn't appear in the other parts of the workshop will be given more emphasis in today's presentation. Yeah. So let's move forward. So as we have discussed yesterday, in the entire NEP document, the word quality appears 147 times, right? Almost twice every page, two times, 2 to 2.5 times every page. Now, in the higher education uh, part, it's roughly around 87 times out of 147. So if you are quick in mathematics, roughly this is around 60 or 65% of it. And multidisciplinary, if you see, it is 55 times out of 70. This roughly turns to be around 75 or 80%. Right? So now, what are we aiming at? The higher education policy of NEP, the overall, how is it structured, what it aims at, what are the responsibilities of teacher, can be very quickly summarized by this statement, which was actually predicted. You can see the citation there, like it is extracted from Richard Reilly from 2004, The Jobs Revolution, Changing How America Works. You see here, this is, you can see the overall backdrop of the higher education part. The top 10 in-demand jobs in future don't exist today. We are currently preparing students for jobs that don't yet exist, using technologies that haven't been invented. In order to solve problems, we don't even know they are problems yet. This is what typically the NEP 2020 of higher education speaks of, right? So now you are preparing the students for top 10 in-demand jobs, which are not existing today. You are preparing the students using the technologies which have not been invented to solve the problems which you don't even know that they are problems yet. So this is the backdrop. You see every move, whether it is the curriculum design, whether it is multi-exit, multi-entry, multi-exit option, whether it is promoting online education, whether it is internationalization, all these are aimed to achieve this goal. This is not declared anywhere. The statement is not declared anywhere in the NEP document. But then if you carefully go through, scroll down each page and try to read in between lines, probably this is the aroma or the flavor which you can feel in the entire document, the part 2, the higher education part. Now let us see what are the various problems of the current higher education system which has led to come out with this policy. So unless we identify the current problems, we can't find a solution. The first step is identify the problem. So what are the problems which a current higher education system in India is facing? So these problems are very clearly defined in the policy document. Why? Because, see, we all know that higher education, it plays an extremely important role in promoting human as well as societal well-being, right? In developing India as it is envisioned in our constitution. So now as India moves towards becoming a knowledge economy and society, like more and more, we all know that India has got a large demographic dividend. Means we have got the highest number of younger generation of people. So more and more Indians are likely to aspire for higher education in the future generations, right? So unless we try to address these problems which are haunting like witches of the higher education, there is no scope of moving forward. So now, the first problem which is identified, fragmented higher education ecosystem. Typically, ecosystem, we all know, the output of one is given as input to the another, right? The output and input are linked. There is another next block, right? The output of this is connected to the input of this. So it's like an ecosystem, cyclic process. So now, current education system is highly fragmented. Sometimes it so happens, that's what we have seen yesterday, synergy of the curriculum. Synergy of the curriculum. The entire technical education curriculum is framed by AICTE. But prior to that, one step below, if you see, intermediate education, it's governed by different states, different syllabuses, different levels, different standards. Come one more step down, school education. It is also governed by different states, state boards, and central boards again, two to three different boards are there. So, although you are saying that a student has qualified 10th with 90 marks, the exposure, the holistic development, the multidisciplinarity of a student who is coming from state syllabus is different. Those coming from central syllabus is different. All have got 90%. And same case with +1, intermediate. Same thing happens. So now all these students who are at different levels have now to enter a common higher education system, a syllabus which is designed for everybody. So there is a lot of gap. Some systems, and sometimes the syllabus is not so framed, you don't find a proper conduit between this and this. Right? So the education system is highly fragmented. The output of one is not properly integrated into the input of the other system. Now, less emphasis on cognitive skills and learning outcomes, which we have discussed yesterday. Rigid separation of disciplines. Rigid separation of disciplines is a very, very severe problem which is haunting Indian higher education, which NEP 2020 wants to not all of a sudden wipe it out, but then in a phased out, in a phased wise manner, probably they want to eliminate, because we have got very strong disciplines, rigid disciplines. Like if you see the guidelines of say AICTE or other regulating bodies, if I have to be a faculty in say suppose computer science department, I should have a BTech degree only from computer science. If I want a faculty to be from ECE, in ECE department, I should have a basic degree in ECE. But whereas in European countries, it's not that. At any given time, I can be a faculty in 2 to 3 departments, and there is no restriction. Right? So when you are speaking of multidisciplinarity, when the faculty himself is not allowed for disciplinary exposure, how is he going to impact or download that content to his students? So we are restricting the faculty to a specific domain, but you want the students to be multidisciplinary. So which is a severe problem, which directly attacks the very purpose of NEP, which speaks of multidisciplinarity and limited access to higher education. There are very few higher educational institutions compared to the number of students who are actually eligible. There's then limited teacher and institution autonomy. All the institutions and teachers, they are over-regulated by the affiliating universities. Although they have innovative ideas, they can't implement it. Then lack of merit-based career management for faculty. This part I'm going to discuss a bit more later, because once the faculty enters into an organization, he is more or less into fixed up in a routine cycle. Less research in universities, poor governance and leadership, ineffective regulatory system, and large affiliating colleges. So poor governance and leadership, this is also a problem, because if you see around 60 to 70% of the colleges, I can even say a higher number, but I restrain myself in being so bold. See, around 60 to 70% of the colleges, engineering colleges in India today are owned by someone who is from a real estate background. I mean the top apex member. He may not come to the forefront in the institutional governance. So either or from a liquor, someone who is handling a liquor and all. There are very few people who are highly qualified academia who come forward to start an educational organization. So obviously the governance and leadership are, what do you say, not up to the standards which can bring high quality education in higher education system, right? Ineffective regulatory system. This also I'm going to discuss. There are multiple regulatory systems, right? So NEP 2020, it speaks of how we have to remove this different regulatory systems and bring just one regulatory system, and then large number of affiliating colleges. A large number of affiliating colleges. This is one source of income actually for colleges. Let us say if you have some specific university, under that university you've got the 100 colleges, 200 colleges, 500 colleges. the university is granting affiliation without seeing whether the specific college has got the necessary the infrastructure, right? Necessary faculty, human resources, infrastructure, right? Why? Because the universities themselves have very meager fund support from the governments. So for the university to sustain its own existence, because first is survival, then comes uniqueness. The universities have to survive themselves. So now how do they get? From the affiliating colleges. So for the affiliation, all these affiliating colleges need to pay their affiliation fee annually. That becomes the source of income for the universities. So now, because that is the source of income, they are increasing the quantity and there is a decline in the quality. So these are the major problems of higher education in India, which currently are faced. So now, aims of quality higher education. So now, we have seen these are the drawbacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, n number of problems in higher education we have seen. So now, what are the aims of the quality higher education? The first one, to develop good, thoughtful, well-rounded, and creative individuals. That's the first aim of the higher education, which is given in NEP. Then the quality higher education must enable an individual to study one or more specialized areas of interest at a deep level and also develop character, ethical, and constitutional values. So the emphasis is on study one or more specialized areas of interest. So the previously what we have speak, two discipline specific is now being crossed over. Must enable personal accomplishment and enlightenment, constructive public engagement, and productive contribution to the society. It must prepare students for more meaningful and satisfying lives and work roles that enable economic independence. Economic independence is again a very important word. If you just read it normally, it remains just a word, economic independence. Or in other words, the policy wants more entrepreneurs. Dependent economy is, I'm a job seeker, I'm not a job giver. Economic independence means I'm a job giver, not a job seeker. So means it emphasizes on entrepreneurship, which is very, 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 you can put any number of varies, very poor in higher education systems in India as of today, right? So satisfying lives, work roles, and enable economic independence. So these are the aims of quality higher education, which NEP speaks of. Now, so to overcome those problems, the challenges, whatever you speaks of, you need a complete overhauling of system, re-energizing the education system, right? So the policy, whatever we are going to go through, it proposes changes ahead to overcome these challenges, right? So complete overall and re-energizing of the higher education system is essential to overcome these challenges. So let us see what is it that it is proposing. So what are the key changes? If you look into the overall document, you can see like someone can classify this into even 10 or 20, right? But then I tried to classify them into a major 7, right? The first one is multidisciplinary universities and colleges. The policy speaks of multidisciplinary university. It doesn't speak of college anymore. It only speaks of multidisciplinary college. Why? Because they want to erase off the hard line separations between the domains. Then more multidisciplinary undergraduate education. See, what happens is in current education system, specializations are introduced too early. Narrow specializations, right from say class 8, only maths, physics, chemistry is given more emphasis. So until the student completes undergraduate education, it is more multidisciplinary. Once he goes to PG, then the pyramid narrows down, the cone narrows down. So at the base, it is very broad, right? Then faculty and institutional autonomy. That is another key change it proposes. Then revamping curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, and student support. Then establishment of a national research foundation, which was, if you see the challenges, one of the challenges, less research intensive universities. That is one of the challenges. Less research is done in the universities or colleges. So to promote research, so now currently we have got so many funding agencies. So about this academic research and innovation entrepreneurship, down the line, we have got one session on this. So there I'm going to speak in detail. But then to provide an overview of this national, instead of having, say, different funding agencies, so UGC funds, then AICT funds, some projects, and then DST, then SER, but many bodies you have got. So now let us bring all these bodies into one national research foundation, right? Then provide academic and administrative autonomy. Two things here, academic and administrative autonomy. And then the last one is light but tight regulation. This helps in regulation. So we have seen these are the different challenges. We have seen there that there is less autonomy for the faculty and institutions. So academic and administrative covers that. Light but tight regulation. So multiple regulators are there. So how to bring all those regulators and then come or end up with only one single regulator for different bodies. So that is light but tight regulation. So these are the overall key changes in the policy which the NEP 2020 proposes. So now policy's primary thrust is this. These words are exactly copied from the document, because even the slightest change in the word, misplacement of the word, will disempower the vision of NEP. That's the reason why it's exactly copied. The main thrust of this policy regarding higher education is to end the fragmentation of higher education. Number one is to end fragmentation by higher education. How do we do that? By transforming higher educations into large multidisciplinary universities, colleges, and higher education institutions. So the emphasis is on multidisciplinary universities, multidisciplinary colleges, and higher education clusters, knowledge hubs. Yesterday, for those of the audience who were there yesterday, we are speaking of school clusters. It's at school level. Even at technical education level, I was mentioning yesterday, clusters are being proposed for knowledge sharing, resource sharing, right? Each of which will aim to have 3,000 or more students. 3,000 or more students. So this is the main thrust. End fragmentation. How is it possible? Establish multidisciplinary colleges. And they want to enhance the student strength, right? This is the primary thrust of the policy. So previous slide, if you see, they are speaking of multidisciplinary universities. So how does the policy, the NEP 2020, define a university? Let us see that, because it is also very, because see, when we speak of university, you may have a vague idea unless the definition is clear, unless the item is very clearly defined. The direction we can look to is very vague and cloudy, right? So the way how the policy document defines a university is this: a university will mean only one, a multidisciplinary institution. That's all. A university will mean a multidisciplinary institution of higher learning that offers undergraduate, graduate with high quality teaching, then there is research and community engagement. This is how the document has defined what a university is. The emphasis is on multidisciplinary, emphasis on high quality. So we all, yesterday, like the feedback, what I got from them, the organizers were informing that there are around more than 10 or 15 principals and heads of the departments, right? So we all have a greater responsibility to transform our universities, colleges, our curriculum, because multidisciplinarity is possible only by evolution of the curriculum, right? So this is how it defines multidisciplinary institutions of higher learning that offers undergraduate, graduate programs with high quality teaching is there, and research both go hand in hand, and then community engagement means giving back, right? So now, if you see, how are we going to do that? A university, so you have to do institutional restructuring. Currently, you've got some structure, right? Or what do you say, like remodeling, right? Remodeling. There's already you have a very old house, right? Now the times have changed, so now it's not just sufficient if you just paint it here and there. You need to remodel it, right? So what are the items to achieve the previous definition of university? What are the major steps the policy is proposing? The first one, HEIs to offer support to other higher education institutions in their development, community engagement, and service, contribution to various fields of practice, faculty development or higher education system, and more importantly, you see here, support school education. Part 1 speaks of school education. Part 2 speaks of higher education. Higher education institutions should support. Higher education institutions should support school education. Higher education institute should support other higher education institutions which are deprived in their physical resources, physical infrastructure, human resources, right? They are not able to develop the curriculum of their own because of lack of proper human resources. So this has to be done. Hand holding has to be done. Second one, encourage participation in research activities, which was earlier lacking due to issues such as funding, culture, and competence. Three things are spoken here. Three things have to be encouraged. The first one is, so this part speaks of the teaching. In the previous slide, we have seen university means multidisciplinary institution X, Y, and Z, which are engaged in, which offers undergraduate, postgraduate degrees, and engaged in teaching, research, and community engagement. So if you see here, this speaks of community engagement. One higher education institution is helping other higher education institution, right? You are helping faculty development for other education system, other education. You are supporting the schools so that we overall grow together. The second one is research. Three things it speaks of: funding, culture, and competence. Funding, you all know, is limited, but then more important is culture. Research culture has to be developed in the educational institutions. I'll tell you what does it mean, culture. It's not like most of you don't know, but then a more practical example which we can easily connect with. A research culture, developing a culture. Let us say 4 or 5 faculty go together for a tea in an engineering college or in a regular degree college. 3 or 4 faculty go for a tea, or they go to a canteen to have a snack in the evening. What would be the topic of discussion? What is the salary in the other college? Management has not given a salary increment, or this person has got promoted. I am more eligible than him. This is the culture which is set up in the college. I am not telling this is the drawback of the faculty. I'll speak that later, but then the culture I'm speaking of. Or there are certain institutions, if you see the culture, when 3 or 4 faculty come together, they speak of research over a cup of tea. See, this is the latest paper I have published. So this is the project. So I'm planning for this kind of project. How can we collaborate? So that culture has to be developed. Culture has to be developed, right? So culture has to be developed. How it will be developed? Culture means it has to be cultured, means gradually developed. And then competence. Competence means, you all know, it's not just enough to have culture. There should be a competent person on the other side. If your institution has got 99% of MTech holders as your faculty members, and one person, just for namesake, you should head of the department should be a PhD holder. Only head of the department is a PhD holder. Rest all are non-PhD holders. how are you able, how can you bring out the culture? Your motivation to bring out research culture is there, but will you be able to bring? No, because 99% of faculty have not undergone a formal research procedure, because PhD allows you to undergo or learn a formal research procedure. So they are not competent. They may have a desire, but they don't have competence. Right? So that has to be done. The third one, a fair and transparent system for determining increased levels of public funding support for public higher education institutions. The next one, option to run open distance learning and online programs, providing benefits such as increase the gross enrollment ratio, because by 2035, one of the overall uh, theme of the higher education policy, national education policy and higher education, is to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 35%, 50% by 2035. Then improve access of education, enhancement of offerings, then provide opportunities for lifelong learning. Then higher education institutions to have autonomy and freedom to move gradually from one category to another based on their plans and actions, which are mentioned in their institutional development plans. That institutional development plan, I don't know, like most of the organizations, they don't have an institutional development plan. Institutional development plan is a very, very important document. UGC has released some guidelines. So NEP speaks of that, which has to be spelled in their institutional development plans. Right. So in fact, like we have helped some of the organizations to come up with their institutional development plan based on what their current status is, what their future targets are, how on a step-by-step strategic plan and institutional development plan. So these two, you have to have a very detailed institutional development plan. Right. And then the accreditation system has to be developed, right? For each category of the institution, norms for 3 categories of institutions. We'll discuss what these 3 categories of institutions are, because the policy categorizes the institutions as teaching intensive, research intensive universities, both teaching and research intensive universities. That categorization we will look into as we move forward through. So now 2030, 2040, right? I think currently we are all more fascinated by number 2898, right? 2898, Kalki. But what are these numbers, 2030 and 2040? 2030, 2040, these are 2 milestones, milestone years, which NEP 2020 speaks of, particularly for higher education. So 2030, what are the 3 things what the policy document speaks of? Right? So by 2030, all the institutions should be multidisciplinary. They should be multidisciplinary first, and then gradually increase the student strength to the desired level. Right? And then at least one large multidisciplinary higher education institutions in or near every district. Now, how many districts are there in India? It's a trivia quiz. Probably you can Google out, even I don't know the answer. Right? So now, at least one large multidisciplinary higher education institution, not higher education institution, multidisciplinary. So now we have to forget about higher education institution, right? And in fact, the government is planning to come out with, just like we have got IITs, we have got ISERs, right? We have got NIPER, like different centrally funded technical institutions for each specialization streams. They want to come out with something called MERUs, multidisciplinary educational research universities. The university itself is multidisciplinary, right? And then developing high quality higher education institutions, both in public and private, that have medium of instruction in both local and Indian languages or bilingually. Right? So this has to be there. Bilingual means the even higher education should be available in both Indian language and the regular medium of instruction, English. Right? This they want to achieve by 2030. And what do they want to achieve by 2040? By 2040, all higher education institutions shall aim to become multidisciplinary, which is already there in 2020. And here, 2030, we told, and strength should gradually increase to desired levels. Now, he has not mentioned a number here. So first thing is make all the institutions as multidisciplinary, and then by 2040, all the institutions should have minimum, the student strength should be in thousands, and the number we already seen previously, a university, how they defined, right? No, the primary main thrust of the policy, 3,000. Then single stream higher education institutions will be phased out over time. They want to completely remove single stream higher education institutions, and all will move towards becoming vibrant multidisciplinary institutions or parts of vibrant multidisciplinary higher education institution clusters. Higher education institution cluster. The emphasis is on the word cluster. Let us say you are running an higher education institution or a college which is offering, say, only technical education, BTech CSC, BTech CSC, because as I told you, our top management, our means don't take anything personal. I'm speaking very generic. Most of the engineering colleges, as I told, they're run by real estate mafia or liquor dons, right? Their primary intention is to mint more and more money. So what is it in the current scenario which offers more money? Computer science, computer science, computer science. A for computer science, B for computer science, C for computer science, Z for computer science. Right? So you don't phase out. So by 2030, you are not converted, you are not opened, say, other branches, like say you are not opened law, you are not opened, say, a dental, you are not opened management, right? So many streams are there, right? BA arts, right? So many streams which we are speaking of. So then what you have to do? You go and join some other university or a college which has got, say, which doesn't have, there is a college which is not offering technical education, or there is a college which is offering only law education. They can come out, they can come together and form a cluster. When you speak of cluster, there is no meaning to cluster if there is no sharing of knowledge, there is no sharing of human resources. Faculty means faculty can be swapped from the institutions, so that multidisciplinary culture will develop in the organizations. So now with this 2030, 2040 targets, the present common, the complex nomenclature of higher education institutions, we have got something called deemed to be university. Then we have got something called affiliating university. We have got affiliating technical university, right? And we also got unitary university. Different terminologies are there, right? So all this shall be replaced simply by the word university. So currently we see some universities, they will be mentioned deemed to be university, or affiliating university, X, Y, and Z, or unitary university. All those will just be replaced with a simple word university. There is nothing called deemed university or deemed to be university or state private university or a public university, nothing. They'll be replaced with a simple word or a single word university. All right. And all these universities are what? By 2030, all the universities are multidisciplinary universities. Right. And gradually what will happen over a period of 15 years, through a system of graded autonomy, the system of affiliated colleges will be phased out. No more affiliated colleges. Each college will be a degree awarding institution. Excuse me. Yeah. So all the uh, every college is a degree awarding college. Degree awarding uh, either it's a university or college. So over a period of 15 years, through graded autonomy, what is this graded autonomy? We'll see later. Let's not the question arise in our mind. So keep the question aside. We'll address what it is. Right? And the system of affiliated colleges is phased out. Right? Yeah. So moving forward. Yes. Institutional restructuring. How are we going to do that? How are you going to do that? So now, the previous slide we have seen previous probably 2 to 3 slides also we have seen, like based on the category. Then we have spoken of graded autonomy, right? So now, and the last slide, last slide, I guess we have seen that different kind of universities, means affiliate university, deemed to be university, all these will be erased out, and only one term university will be left. So if only university is left, there is no classification. Yes, there is classification. What is the classification? You are a university, yes, but are you a research intensive university or are you a teaching intensive university? So it is based on the priority what the university gives, the classification will be there. Not just based on the dominion powers, right? University is not classified. Based on the thrust area what the university takes, research intensive university. So institutions that place equal emphasis on teaching and research. The second one is teaching intensive university. So this is also university, this is also university. So in a teaching intensive university, what will happen? Institutions that place greater emphasis on teaching, but still conduct significant research. Right? And the third category is autonomous degree granting colleges. Right? Autonomous degree granting colleges. So these two are universities. This is a college. As I told you in the previous slide, we have seen over a span of 15 years, every college will be a degree granting college. You award your own degrees. So autonomous degree granting colleges grants undergraduate degrees and is primarily focused on undergraduate teaching. Autonomous degree colleges could evolve. So this is a future goal which can be reflected in their institutional development plans. Could evolve into either research intensive or teaching intensive universities if they so aspire or if they so desire. Or if they want, they can continue to cater only the undergraduate teaching. Right? So this is how the restructuring, institutional restructuring is proposed. So now you can read this myth. Teaching remains the poor cousin of research, especially in research intensive universities. So now, in fact, this was one of the problems which plagued American universities in early 20s, 2000, early 2000. They have actually classified the universities as research intensive universities, and the emphasis for undergraduate education is very, very low. They had some courses, undergraduate courses, but the emphasis on undergraduate research was very less. Teaching was very less, which actually was proven. I don't say total failure model, but then it did not give intended results what it was aimed at. So keeping that model in mind, NEP is very careful. Institution that place equal emphasis on teaching and research. First comes teaching, followed by research. Means you are bringing research into classroom. You're bringing research into classroom. It's not that 80% research, 20% teaching. Right? So this myth, whatever is there, has been washed away in this NEP 2020 document. Now, in the previous slide, we have seen 3 universities, research, and this slide, research, teaching, and autonomous degree college. Right? So now let us see research intensive university. Today you are a research intensive university, right? Or a teaching intensive university or autonomous degree college, right? So now above this, you are already a research intensive university, and in the coming presentations, I'm going to speak of NEP and accreditation, and NAC also has come with NAC reforms which are yet to be released probably in early next month or end of next month. The parameters, which university can be called a research intensive university, there will be some benchmarks. If you have, say, 80% of PhD faculty, because competence is important. If I have 99% of MTech faculty, I cannot say I want to become a research intensive university, right? So it's going to roll out the parameters. So you're a research intensive university, you can upgrade yourself to Meru, multidisciplinary education and research university. Say if you are a teaching university today, over the time, because this has to be very clearly spelled in your strategic plan, institutional development plan, very, 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 very important to have an institutional development plan, right? So in the institutional development, how you are going to transform yourself from a teaching intensive university to research intensive university, the strategy has to be very clearly chalked out. How much time you are going to take in next 5 years. Today I am teaching intensive university. Down the line, a decade, I'll transform myself into a research intensive university. What are the intermediate milestones? Milestone 1, milestone 2, milestone 3 should be very, very clear, right? So, and after you become a research intensive university, you can later, from research intensive, you can step up again to a Meru. Today, you're autonomous degree granting college. A college can turn into a university. You can become initially teaching intensive university. You cannot straight away jump from, there is no two jump. It is only an evolution. From this, you evolve into this. From this, you evolve into research intensive university. From this, you evolve into Meru. So it is a gradual, and at every phase, now the UGC or the accreditation bodies, if you are today an autonomous degree granting college, if you are planning to become a research intensive university, you should submit a plan to them. You should submit a plan, detailed project report or project plan, DPP. You need to submit what are your steps you are taking to transform from this to this? What are the steps you are taking to transform from this to this? Do you have a plan today? Right? So all the universities, colleges, I strongly recommend you try to develop the institutional development plans, right? And if at all any support, or we can have you can have a discussion with this. The other part, see, now we spoke about the definition of university. It spoke of only multidisciplinary university. So multidisciplinary universities, the policy again defines what is multidisciplinary university, or defines what is multidisciplinary and what is holistic education. It speaks of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Right? Every college should have science, technology, engineering, mathematics. These, in addition to this, it should have other departments as well. And then currently IITs, which are there, will move towards more holistic and multidisciplinary education. I doubt down the line, like departments like you see music, drama, sociology, theater, economics, sports department, translation department, etc., will be, I don't know, I'm too bold to use the word forced, but I take the courage to use the word. IITs may be forced to start these departments, and they will be awarded a multidisciplinary education institution, universities category. Then flexibility in curriculum and novel and engaging course options. Then credits, now if you see here, departments of music, arts, drama, sociology, theater, etc., are to be started. And then credits are to be given for such courses either through in-class or online programs. If the university has these departments, you directly offer these courses. If the university doesn't have these departments, you have got something called clusters. Knowledge resources sharing, infrastructure sharing, human resources sharing, right? So either online programs or through in-class, you can do it. Then credit-based projects in environmental, community service, and value-based education, industry internship, research internship, etc., to improve employability. So now I'm going to spend a couple of minutes on the word flexibility in curriculum and novel engaging course options. Because multidisciplinary comes with flexibility. Most of our colleges, universities, we have a fixed time slot, 8 to 3:30 or say 9 to 4. right? The students mostly they leave by 9 to 4. When does flexibility come into picture? Flexibility comes into picture. Two things are required. Two very essential things are required. One is curriculum and all. You can have beautiful curriculum, right? You can offer majors, you can offer minors. In majors, you've got 7 options. Minors, you've got 10 options. You can have all these. Even now, we have this choice-based credit system, which we offer to the UG students. They can, once they are in their 5th or 6th semester, they can opt electives. But the hard fact is, or the bitter truth is, although the university gives 5 or 6 electives, the college or the universities, they force the students to take only 1 subject or 2 subjects at max. Why? Because there is no faculty, or the load on faculty is more. So, although on paper you have got flexibility, in reality there is no flexibility. I want to choose an elective, 5th elective, but the college offers only 2 electives for me. Why is the college not able to do that? Why the college is not able to give the flexibility? Because shortage of faculty. So good faculty student ratio is required. If you see the European universities, they have a faculty ratio single digit, 1:4, 1:6, 1:10. These are the universities which are occupying the top position in QS ranking, the ranking, Times Higher Education ranking. These are the universities which are placed there. The first one to offer flexibility is you need to have an excellent FSR. At least 1:15 or less. The highest FSR you can have is 1:15 to offer it a reasonable flexibility. The second thing is excess infrastructural resources. Excess infrastructural resources. Now there are 6 electives. Your class strength is 60 and 10 students take each elective. Now 6 electives they take. You can't teach all 6 electives in a single classroom. If you're offering 2 electives, you can teach in 2 different classrooms. But if you're offering 6 electives, for 1 subject, I need 6 classrooms now. So your infrastructure, you have classrooms in excess, you have FSR in excess. Then only flexibility is possible. Then only multidisciplinary is possible. Right? So we need to start looking at the ground realities. If you don't increase these two, just changing the name board from university, from a college to a university or university to multidisciplinary is not going to be realized, just like how today the choice-based credit system is not realized. Underline the statement, it is not realized. Why it's not realized? You all know, people, we are from different colleges. We don't offer the flexibility to the student. If 2 students or 3 students opt for some third elective, you forcefully change them into 1 or 2 elective. No faculty is there, only 3 students are there, you move to some other course. Right? So this part also the colleges have to think of. Then multidisciplinary and holistic education we spoke of. Holistic, as I've told you yesterday, right? It addresses your physical needs, your language, lingual, cognitive, emotional, social, spiritual, aesthetic, nature, and creative impetus of the student. All these have to be embedded into the curriculum in the higher education as well. So the document also speaks of what are the benefits of holistic education, right? It speaks of empowered voice, then comprehensive understanding is there. Means increased respect and compassion, then supportive learning environment will be there, then stronger teacher and student relations, enhanced communication and motivational skills, right? These are the benefits what the policy document speaks of, right? Some words are directly as it are there and some words like I've modified them, but the theme or the essence what it carries is this, right? And then as a part of holistic education, right, what see the policy document or now even the UGC, now the plans what they are thinking is coming with cultural universities, not multi-technical universities. We have got Sanskrit universities. There are no cultural universities in India. We proudly speaks of, see if you see the policy document, the entire policy, the first line, first paragraph or second paragraph, if you look into the policy document, it speaks of a curriculum or education system that is deeply rooted in Indian ethos. So you've got the 64 colors, right? And what are the 64 colors? If you look into our ancient Indian texts, in fine arts there are 8, and recreation entertainment there are 8, domestic arts there are 8, language communication there are 6, hospitality 3, right? You've got different classifications, right? Animal and bird keeping 2. So where are these? Uh, uh, um, when you're speaking of holistic education, all these are completely missing. We are into technical, into technical, into technical. I would like to summarize modern education into 5 words. 5 words, you can start counting. Information, 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 no transformation. This is modern education. 5 words: information, 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 no transformation. NEP wants to break this paradigm. It wants to make a paradigm shift. It wants to make a paradigm shift. So the colleges, the universities, if not all, 1 or 2 of these 64 colors. Probably down the line, as I was mentioning, the government of India will come out with cultural universities, right? The word cultural university is not spelt. I'm very careful. It's not spelt in the document, but it envisions that. And I see through it. I see through that when I read between the lines. Right? And then the policy document also speaks of multi-entry and multi-exit system. Right? If a 4-year degree program is there, then a student, if he completes 1 year, you can award a certificate, and then a diploma certificate you can give if you want to exit after 2 years, and a bachelor's degree you can give after if you want to exit after 3 years, and then a bachelor's degree with research if he wants to exit after, means if he completes the 4-year study. So undergraduate education system is minimum for 3 years, and then maximum it can be for 4 years. So that's what is spelled. So now a little more deeper insights into the multi-entry and multi-exit. Now, we have spoken of undergraduate certificate, means if the student completes 1 year, you give a certificate. Right? That means a student has done a certification, a certificate course in so and so. That's all. Just like we do many certificate courses, right? In various online platforms, you got Coursera, you do some certificate course, right? Different online platforms are there to do certificate course. So if a student, he intended to do a 4-year degree or 3-year degree, but because of some reasons, X, Y, and Z reasons, he is quitting after 1 year. And say the student has failed 10 subjects. Are you going to give him a degree? No. So UGC has come out last year or before last year, I guess it has come out with a description. Means based on the NEP document, it has come with how many credits have to be given. Suppose in the first year, you have got semester 1, 6 subjects, semester 2, 6 subjects, so total 24 credits, so 48 credits you have first year. So out of the 48 credits, if the student fails even 2 subjects, if he still gets 40 credits, you can award the degree for him. Suppose if he fails 3 subjects and get 36 credits, you can't give him a degree. You can ask the student to register for an area exam or a supplementary exam, ask him to complete the remaining credits, and then you can award him a degree. So it's not just the duration. After 1 year, he'll get certificate, 2 years. So along with the duration, you're awarding a certificate for the competence of the student, not just for the duration he's staying there. Right? So credits are mapped to it. So you award a UG diploma with 2 years academic program, and the student has to earn 80 credits. If he's short of 80 credits, you can't award a diploma degree. Then bachelor's degree, 3-year program, he has to complete 3 years and he should have earned 120 credits. See, when I say 120 credits, the student might have failed some subjects, because in 3 years, probably the student might do register for more credits, but he might have passed only 120 credits. Still, we need to give the degree. Then bachelor's or a degree with honors or with research, both will be for 160 credits, 4 years, both honors and then finally bachelor's degree. You can give in engineering with a 4-year program, academic program with 160 credits. So exit, exit, exit. All right. And then how about the PG program? That we spoke of UG program. So if you want a PG program, so there are different designs for master program. So previously we have seen student, he can exit, means if he has done 3 years degree, he will also get a bachelor's degree for That kind of student, master's program is for 2 years. To get a master's degree, PG degree, he has to study 2 years. And if previous slide we have seen, for items number 4, 5, and 6, he is doing 4-year program, either honors or research or a basic degree in one specialization he is doing. If he has completed one of that 4-year degree, masters can be completed only 1 year. Right? And then, or if he doesn't want to go for masters, he directly want to enroll for PhD, he need a 4-year bachelor's degree with either with research, right? Or he should have completed masters, then he can enroll for a PhD. So directly from UG, he can register for PhD. So if you have finished 4 years bachelor with research, right? So, sorry, you have seen here honors, research, and bachelors, right? So if you have completed those, masters will be 1 year, or if you have completed 4 years bachelor with research or masters, you can directly enroll for PhD. And now MPhil is discontinued. Right? Previously MPhil was there. Now the policy document speaks that MPhil is discontinued. Right? And then to facilitate this multi-entry, multi-exit, right? Credit transfer. I want to leave after first year, go to some other place, and then I want to continue my second year or third year. Right? So for that, your credits have to be counted and it has to be transferred. Right? So for that, the government has come out with a portal called Academic Bank of Credits. It's a new pathway to higher education. So, the student is studying in institution A and he has earned certain credits, say after first year. So the credits are loaded on the bank, and then the credits are transferred to the other institution, and he redeems the credits there and then continues the degree. Right? So Academic Bank of Credits, this is also like institutions are doing. More and more institutions are getting into the fold of Academic Bank of Credits, but then it is strongly advised in the upcoming accreditation reforms and all, also this whether the institution is a part of Academic Bank of Credits or not, to what extent NEP is being implemented, all this also will have due weightage seemingly, right? And then the credit management for students and institutions through Academic Bank of Credits, right? So now there is a credit bank, allows credit to borrow academic credits to fulfill their degree. Then there is a credit transfer, right? Then you can also accumulate the credits, right? And then credit validation is done, credit repository. These are all the features which the Academic Bank of Credits will facilitate. There's a little more actually we can go through Academic Bank of Credits, but then this should be a sufficient information. There's the purpose of Academic Bank of Credits. Other features of NEP for higher education, if you see, flexibility to move from one discipline of study to another. How this will be realized, it is an open-ended. Yesterday, someone was asking about experiential learning, the way it was interpreted. See, policy, as I mentioned, many open-ended ideas are given in the policy, and universities or the colleges or institutions have got the freedom by various means and options to bring that into reality. So these are also one of those, flexibility to move from one discipline to another discipline of study. Like, see, the way how I envision down the line is maybe probably that would be a best education system for technical education. Like it should be like undergrad. Now currently, if someone is pursuing medicine, at UG level, there are no specializations. It is just MBBS. But why in technical education there are so many specializations in engineering? Why there are so many specializations? BTech in computers, BTech in this, BTech in that, BTech in something else. For medicine degree, specialization starts only in PG level, not at UG level. So although the policy document doesn't directly indicate that, I very strongly see through that is what is envisioned by the document. Down the line, when you're speaking of multidisciplinary education institutions, it is only Bachelor of Technology. That's all. The student should be awarded Bachelor of Technology. No computer science, no mechanical, no civil, nothing. Then what happens? The mad rush for computer science, the mad rush for, say, circuit branches, the mad rush for core branches. There is no mad rush. Yeah, BTech, Bachelor of Technology. you get a Bachelor of Technology degree. That is what probably it will take shape into that form. That's the way how I envision it. That is what will bring more multidisciplinarity into the education institutions. So now currently what it is, the document speaks of flexibility to move from one discipline to another discipline of study. Means first year, we to certain extent we offer that flexibility now. Is after first year the students are given an opportunity for course migration or program migration. First year, say suppose an ECE student, he wants to shift to say mechanical or computer science. The university has got certain norms, right, where the student can move from one discipline to another discipline, right? And then learners to choose the course of their interest in all disciplines, multidisciplinary. So that's what I'm telling. When I see this slide, that is the idea which strikes to me. Just like how in medicine education, only MBBS is there for everybody. Specialization start only in PG courses. The same way, Bachelor of Technology degree only should be awarded. Then Academic Bank of Credits, I've already discussed with you. Move from one institution to another institution, right? This is also, I don't know how far this can be realized, because every institution has got its own vested interests, its own targets, right? If allowing the swapping of students, 2 years he'll study there, then third year he'll study some other institution, project he will do some other institution, which institution he will pay the fee. The MOUs, proper MOU should be there between the organizations. It's a long way to go, but it is a very good idea where the student is a beneficiary. Not institution is not the beneficiary, student is a beneficiary, because that is a way the policy speaks of how to benefit the student. And the way policy document visualizes higher education institutions are more service oriented institutions rather than a business oriented organizations. That is the way it sees the higher education institutions. And other one, flexibility to switch to alternative modes of learning, offline and distance education, right? I want to continue in the same institution, right? First 2 years I have come for attended regular classes, physical classes, but then third year, fourth year, because of some unforeseen or God foreseen situations of my family, I can't continue in this place. I want to go to my hometown, right? But there's been an option for me. First 2 years is physical mode, and next 2 years I can do offline mode, or there should be an online distance learning process where the university runs. Okay, first year you have studied here, third year and final year. Okay, for project for at least 2 months you have to spend here. Remaining 8 months you stay there. There is some contact period, contact classes, or it can be complete offline, right? Offline and online, that switching can be there. So this also is envisioned in the document, right? The other aspects, the curriculum, pedagogy, continuous assessment, and student support are the cornerstones of quality learning. Then socio-economically disadvantaged, SEDGs, that is what it is, socially economically disadvantaged groups. Backgrounds, they require professional academic career counseling for successful transition to higher education. Then promote creativity, and faculty will have the autonomy to innovate on matters of curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment within a broad framework. Right, online education. Running short of time, another 10 minutes, and I'll close it, and then you can take some questions. Then move away from high-stake examinations towards a more continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Right, move away from high-stake end examinations towards the more continuous and comprehensive examination. Means end exam, currently if you see internal assessment is 20, most of the colleges I'm speaking of, internal assessment is 20 marks, external assessment is 80% weightage. So you're giving the high stakes are there for end examination, right? Because of some XYZ reason, the student may really not be able to perform well because of some sudden health breakdown just before the day of exam, right? So the system has to move towards that. And then all programs, courses, right? In addition to, the physical classes, online classes, right? Online distance learning mode, they will all aim to achieve global standards. And then curricular improvement into its institutional development plan. Repeatedly, I'm telling institutional development is very important. Colleges which don't have, probably should start working on the institutional development plan. Then clubs, events are dedicated to science, debate, music, sports, etc. right? Funding and credits should be duly given to those clubs to bring in the multidisciplinarity into the curriculum part. The other aspects, see the cultural competence. Right, these are the different 10 aspects: self-directed learning, productive struggle, scaffolding. Productive struggle is also, see, we are running short of time. Actually, on each of this, probably I can speak for around 10 or 15 minutes, but then there are only multiple pathways we already spoke of. Productive struggle is one aspect which provides an optimal learning environment for the student. Productive struggle in the sense, uh, see, innovation, you see, any innovation is outcome of a struggle. COVID vaccine is an outcome of a struggle, right? So there is a purposeful or voluntary exposure of struggle to a student, right? Not just for the sake of torturing the student. We bring so many. Uh, I mean, every course is embedded with the project, mini project, this project, that project. No, the student is purposefully allowed into a productive struggle in the course, right? And then scaffolding is also another important area, right? And then there should be from traditional classroom to flipped classroom models. That also it speaks of the policy document speaks of optimal learning environments, shifting from traditional to flipped classroom models, right? And then transforming the regulatory system. See, because of, see, I told you, right, because we're running short of time, few slides I'm uh, going through a breeze, right? So distinct functions will be performed by distinct independent empowered bodies. Now we are speaking of HECI, Higher Educational Council of India. Previously, academic standards are set by something else. Regulation they set by something else, right? Funding is done by separate body. Accreditation is done by separate body. So now the policy speaks of a single body, and it proposes light but tight regulation. Light but tight regulation. So regulation by a single regulator for higher education. Right? Regulation by a single regulator for higher education. Why? To ensure integrity, to ensure transparency and resource efficiency of educational system through audit and public disclosure, while encouraging innovation and out-of-box ideas through autonomy, good governance and empowerment. All right. So now ensure integrity, transparency and resource efficiency. Three important words. So light but tight regulation is intending to ensure these three things. One is integrity, transparency, and efficiency. How it will achieve that? Through X, Y, and Z. Through audit, through public disclosure, right? Through innovation, through out-of-box ideas, through autonomy, through good governance, through empowerment. So what has to be achieved through all this? Integrity, transparency, and resource efficiency. Transparency. Everything. See, in India, except defense related data, any data can be asked by RTI, right to information. 10 rupees application you throw, and everybody is supposed to give us the data, except defense related data. To that, and universities, there is no universities, colleges, there is no hidden data. Everything should be there on your website. And resource efficiency. Why resource efficiency? If there are multiple regulators, there is NAC, there is accreditation, right? Suppose if you want to open a law course, right, you need to go to Bar Council of India, right? If you want to use some other course, some other Medical Council of India, if you want to use something else, All India Council for Technical Education. A university having is all this. You are a university, you got medical college under you, you got what do you say, a law course under you, you got a management, you got a technical course, X, Y, and Z under you. But then for each of these, you have to go to and get permission from different people. You are applying for accreditation for NAC or NBA, whatever accreditation. You will submit one data to NAC, you will submit another data to what do you say, NBA, you will submit another data to NIRF, right? So because of this, what is happening? Resource is not being efficiently used. Which resource? Human resource. All the IQAC coordinators will know it very well how difficult it is to get the data. You recently submit for NAC. After 2 months, you want to go for NBA. Again, you have to ask the faculty. And in the process, the IQAC coordinators or directors, they become the common enemies for all the heads of the department, for all the faculty. Who is the common enemy? IQAC coordinator or IQAC director. So now this light but tight regulation will bring that, will eliminate that, right? How? Through One Nation, One Data portal, right? That also I'll discuss in the future presentations. So the Higher Education Council of India proposed verticals: National Accreditation Council, National Higher Education Regulatory Council, then Higher Education Grants Council, and then General Education Council. These are the four divisions in it, right? And then all these will merge into just higher education, means UGC, ACT, NTC, right? And then ICAR, BCI, MCI. Okay, all these will be governed or will come under the fold of Higher Education Council of India. Then online content development, this also like I will discuss later. International relation. Yeah, this is another important slide, financial support, and also I'll spend time here in the last 5 minutes or so. You can see here the most important factor in the success of higher education institution is the quality and engagement of its faculty. This statement is as it is cut, copy, paste from the document. We spoke of so many things, right? In the last 1 hour, 20 minutes, we spoke of so many things. Yesterday also I was teaching in the first page or second page, I think, of NEP document, it speaks of the role of teacher. It speaks of role of teacher, right? Re-establish the position of teacher as the most respected person in the society, because ultimately it is implemented by the teachers, right? So this is the most important factor in success of this higher education, right? So what are the ways? Compensation levels of permanent faculty of institutions have to be increased substantially. The salaries part. This is for a guidelines for, you can think of the governments or the managements. Appropriate rewards, promotions and recognitions, and movement into institutional leadership. Faculty should be sufficiently rewarded, promotions and recognition should be given, and good performing faculty, they should move to institutional leadership. Faculty with high academic and service credentials. See, all these statements are from the document. No word, even a single article is not misplaced. Faculty with high academic and service credentials as well demonstrated leadership and management skills will be identified early and trained through a ladder of leadership positions. Basic infrastructure facilities for faculty to do research and comfortable working should be provided, because most of the colleges, we don't have that. Freedom to design their own curriculum and pedagogy approaches within the approved framework. No excessive workload to the faculty. Student-teacher ratio should not be too high. And then multiple parameters for proper performance, right? So now, as I was mentioning yesterday, the policy document in relevance to the faculty. So the previous slide we have seen are the guidelines for the management. The salary has to be increased, awards have to be given, recognition has to be given, good environment has to be provided, faculty should be given autonomy to design their own curriculum, right? Their own mark distribution, right? So all those what we have seen are like the guidance what the policy document provides for the management. So now it also warns the faculty members with both good and bad news. So let us see the good news first. How to get a promotion with a salary hike. NAP 2020 speaks of. How do we do that? The university should have a transparent process of promotion for criteria for faculty recruitment and promotion. How many universities and colleges as of now, they have well documented recruitment process and promotion process? Because I have visited many colleges on discussing this. And I also worked with the some of the managements in developing the strategic plan, institution development plan, right? So when I look closely into those, they don't have proper recruitment process, they don't have proper promotion process. There are a lot of internal grievances which are already there, right? Then promotions and salary increases will not occur based on length of tenure or seniority, but only on the basis of performance. Policy document speaks of this. Why? Because this is what they have seen in the private colleges. Whoever the king likes is the queen. Whoever king likes is the queen. Right? Because of that, why this? Because it affects the performance of the university. An uninspired faculty will not contribute to anything. Rewards and recognition. What does the policy document speaks of rewards and recognition? Excellent faculty with high academic and service credentials as well as demonstrated leadership and management skills will be identified early and trained through a ladder of leadership positions. Not just appoint somebody today, he is regular faculty, suddenly make him head of the department. No training is given to him. He doesn't have an idea of different policies, how he has to steer the department. He's placed in that position. Why? Because whoever the king likes is the queen. Excellence will lead to movement into leadership position. Those faculty who are contributing excellently, they will move into institutional leadership position. And excellence will be further incentivized with appropriate rewards and recognition. And there is a warning again for faculty who doesn't perform, notice period, right? So meanwhile, the faculty not delivering on basic norms will be held accountable. This is again an open-ended statement will be held accountable. How the institute will make them accountable is left up to the institution. Will they put them on a probation? Will the probation period will be for 2 years or 1 year or 3 years, right? Or they'll put them on bench, give them a period of say 6 months, ask them to improve their performance, right? So all this will again should go into the IDP. And another good news is the policy document also speaks of good performing faculty, fast track promotions. Now, currently the UGC document, if you see, or AICTE document speaks of certain specific qualifications, certain number of years for promotion, right? If someone has to be a professor, he should have say 10 years experience, right? So the policy document tries to erase those things also. It doesn't bypass the document, it gives freedom to the universities and the colleges. Someone who's really performing well, maybe after 6 years, say there is a faculty who has stayed in the university for 10 years or 20 years. What he has contributed in 20 years, a fresh young faculty has contributed in 5 years. This faculty has took 20 years to publish 100 papers. Another faculty has recently joined. In 5 years, he published 100 papers. He got 3 or 4 projects. Why should he wait for another 5 years to become a professor? So fast track promotions are there for good performing faculty. Policy document speaks of, and the policy document doesn't define what is the duration of the fast track. Right? Fast track can be given after 5 years or 6 years. It is again left up to the university or the corresponding institution. And tenure track. In US universities and other European universities, if we see, and even countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, tenure track positions are very common. Tenure track position is given for 3 years. You perform well, and your some KPIs, key performance indicators are given. If you are meeting the KPIs, then your tenure will be extended for 3 years. So it also proposes the universities and colleges can come with tenure track positions and fast track promotions, right? I think there are many other things, vocational training, this I'll discuss in the coming slides, the future sessions, right? Then catalyzing academic research, this also I'll discuss in the future slides, curbing economic, this one. Yeah, I think I'll conclude here. See the NEP document, if you see the overall, it speaks of pedagogy, then curriculum, the internships, then student wellness, academic bank of credits, then internationalization, and then examination. Assessments also, like I'll discuss how the assessment patterns have to change in relevance to the curriculum right? Multidisciplinarity, what we're speaking of, internationalization, I'll speak later in the upcoming sessions, right? So with that, like, I would like to stop now and then open the session for discussion. Yeah,
Sir,
over to you,
thank you,
madam.
sir. Sir, with your permission, I want to share few pictures.
Yeah, few.
Few pictures.
Yeah. So I'll unshare it. I'll unshare my screen.
Yeah. Sir, these are the pictures actually sent by one of our participants,
Okay.
Mr. Raghupati.
Okay.
So I thought of sharing them so that even other participants get motivated with this.
Yes.
Really, sir, we have to appreciate the seriousness and attentiveness of the college faculty.
Yes.
So really, we are delighted, Mr. Raghupati, for sharing the pics to me. And maybe our speaker also will be happy to see the pictures. And we want all the participants also to be more serious. Sir, are the pictures visible, sir?
Not yet, madam. For me, I don't know how about
Okay.
others. I'm able to see your screen, but probably I guess you need to share your screen rather than a window.
I'm sharing, sir. One second.
No, in fact, the cross section of audience is awesome, and the attention of the audience also, like, they need a round of applause. Actually, I personally feel that the kind of attention what all the audience, because I could sense that through the feedback what was given. Many of the faculty are very specific what they liked and what they expected. Yes, it was very nice. Yeah, madam, I'm not able to see any.
Yeah, one
screen.
second, sir. One second. Now is it fine, sir? Are you able to see?
Yes. Yeah.
These are the pictures sent by Mr. Raghupati. With his permission, I am sharing the pictures, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So it's very nice.
Yeah. All
That's
the
probably, I
faculty.
think, yes. I think they have projected the presentation in a common area, I guess, right?
Yes, sir.
It seems like that. Okay.
Yeah, now we move on to the question answer sessions.
Yeah, please.
Sir, there are few questions from the chat window, sir.
Yeah.
Any university offering different programs in different disciplines can be termed as multidisciplinary university, or multidisciplinary is to be in all programs. I repeat the question, sir. Any university offering different programs in different disciplines can be termed as multidisciplinary university, or multidisciplinary is to be in all programs.
See, okay, got your question. See, the way NEP speaks of multidisciplinary is not just offering the number of programs. Student has to undergo that multidisciplinary approach. Emphasis is on the student. See, if I am doing, say, mechanical engineering, all 4 years, I study only my curriculum. See, the emphasis is on multidisciplinarity is on the curriculum. While what you told is partially true, unless that's what, if you see in one of the slides, credit should be duly given for music, art, drama. Credit should be given. And if the college is not offering these courses, they can register in that cluster. HEI clusters are there. They can do it as an online program or an offline program. They can do an online course and the credits can be claimed here. So the multidisciplinarity, there are two ways of looking at it. Yes, a university which offers what do you say, medicine, arts and all this, it's a multidisciplinary university. Having said that, if the curriculum doesn't allow a student to experience that multidisciplinarity, I don't think the purpose or the intent of NEP will be fulfilled. That's the way how I look and read it.
There is another question, sir. What are the potential benefits and challenges of promoting Indian languages in higher education as per the NEP 2020?
See,
What
that
are
is
the
a really,
potential benefits and challenges of promoting Indian languages,
yeah,
maybe the native languages?
native languages. See that if you see, remember the slide by 2030, what they want to do, one of the visions is provide access to the technical education in bilingual uh, uh, this means English or as well as their mother tongue. So the question what you asked is really big task because India is such a country where many languages are officially declared or accepted by the constitution, right? And everyone have got uh, their own barriers for the language, right? In fact, mm, in one of the recent sessions where I've attended in related to NAC, there was a debate and a discussion which was going on. Uh, it, my intention is not to bring any one state down or any one region down, but then NEP policy speaks of Indian knowledge system, how to bring Indian knowledge system into the curriculum and all that. So as one South Indian state, let me be open on it. See, it's not done with any wrong intentions. Tamil Nadu, one or two people they told, sir, we don't follow Indian knowledge system, we follow Tamil knowledge system, TKS. It's not IKS. So when people are so strongly adhered to their own systems, it is very difficult. One possibility is the entire curriculum should be just like Higher Education Council of India we are speaking of. The entire curriculum should be framed by one regulatory body. This is the curriculum, you have to do it. So it probably it has to enforce in addition to English and other than their mother tongue, any other language should be enforced at school level because multilingualism cannot be brought at higher education level. It has to be brought in school education level because children up to the age of 6 or 7, they can pick up the languages early. At the age of 20 or 22, I can't learn a new language and a new technical subject in that language. So one challenge is I foresee is this, although NEP has kept it as one of their agenda that technical subjects have to be taught in multiple languages, probably that has to be done at an early stage in the school level. Then probably it makes any sense at the higher education level. Probably the way I see it is why NEP is emphasizing the bilingual approach to the study. It could be to enhance lifelong learning. Someone who is a dropped out, he knows only say Telugu language or say he knows only Tamil language or say Bengali, right? He dropped out education after say +2. Now he want to do some BTech. Now all of a sudden he can't learn English and all those things. So he can be given an opportunity to learn or to complete a BTech degree if the degree is also available in the local language. Probably that is the way how I perceive it. But then suddenly bringing out a language and enforcing on students at a higher education level, uh, I don't see it as a success model. It has to be implemented at a school level. Yeah, madam, you're on mute. You're on mute.
There is a question from YouTube link, sir. AACTE promoting only emerging branches like CSC, AIML, etc. Okay, let them promote other branches, but why they are decreasing the seats of core branches? Why they are reducing the seats?
This is, you are putting me in a hot spot if I try to answer this question because AAC is a regulating body. I can't comment on that, but probably they have a vision. And see, that is what the NEP, it is breaking those barriers. It's trying to break those barriers. See, down the line, 15 years, they are telling university will be given autonomy. Universities are given autonomy. They can design their own curriculum. Academic autonomy, administrative autonomy. Nobody will interfere with your own policy. That is the reason now if the colleges want to upgrade to university status also, to if you go to UGC, they are more willing to come forward. They are more willing to come forward and so that you will have your own flavor. So leave that. I don't know, sir or madam, whoever the participant has asked that question. Why just AACT? Let us speak of colleges. private universities, not to name any specific private, I am also coming from a private university. How many private universities are promoting civil branch and all? See, people ultimately are looking at the education sector, the managements I'm speaking of, are looking at an education sector as a corporate business rather than a service oriented profession. Unless the vision of the management changes, probably it is difficult. And when you are speaking of AICTE, yes, the colleges will be given freedom. Colleges, as per the NEP 2020 document, colleges are given freedom. You can take the liberty of choosing your own curriculum. As I was mentioning, one breakthrough for this is, which is not mentioned in the policy document, but the way I see that the rat race for computer science or ECE or other branches will minimize if only Bachelor of Technology degree is awarded. And that curriculum will have some courses of computer science, some courses of say mechanical, some courses of software branches, circuit branches, and core branches. Some courses are there, right? You have a comprehensive understanding of it, right? And then just like medicine degree I was speaking of, MBBS specialization starts only after graduation, right? Probably that can solve out the problem. I am nobody to comment on why AICT is doing and what it is doing. So partially to some degree, I think I have addressed your query.
Sir, there is one more question, sir.
Yeah.
Is there any guideline for duration and NCRF level doing PhD after BTech or 4-year UG? And how
Yes,
stream change is offered?
see, how stream change is offered is an open-ended thing which is given in the document. It doesn't give the details of it, right? From one discipline to another discipline, universities have to work out. Universities have to work out, and there is see, operational difficulties come into play there. See, these changes which are given in the policy document cannot be implemented overnight. Just I was speaking of flexibility, you are speaking of. You can't offer the flexibility unless there is good FSR and good infrastructural resources. You cannot do it. We cannot do it. It is on paper, right? So, see, probably it'll has to gradually only unfold. Otherwise, it's not possible.
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
One side we are talking about faculty autonomy curriculum wise. One side we are talking about synergy in the curriculum so that multiple entry exit and join in any other institution is possible. How can we do both? I'll repeat the question, sir. One side we are talking about faculty autonomy curriculum wise. One side we are talking about synergy in the curriculum so that multiple entry exit and join in any other institution is possible.
Yeah. See, it's
How
it's
can
a
we
very
do both?
yeah, it's a very good question. I congratulate the participant who has asked this question.
Sir,
See,
he's Professor Lalitendra from our college, sir. CVR College of
Acha,
Engineering,
okay.
ECE
So thank you.
department.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. See now, I'll see the coming presentations. I'm going to speak about internationalization, where there is a credit mapping. There's a see in the process so I'll tell you the credit mapping which is typically done with the foreign universities. With that scenario, probably you can understand extrapolated to this. So let us say a student is moving from Indian university to an abroad university. First 2 years he has studied here. Third year and final year, say you want to take a degree from abroad university. So in the first 2 years, let us say the student has done here 90 credits. Now abroad university, some X university is there. So he will send all these transcripts to the other university. So of the 90 credits which the student has done here, all the 90 credits will not be transferred there. There is a bargain. Bargain in the sense, not like vegetable bargain. See, they see maybe out of the 90 credits, 70 credits or 75 credits are only transferred. So in the process, student has to lose something because that framework is also not very clear. See, as I told you, NEP speaks of completely open-ended document. It is a grand vision. And you have to tie all the open ends. Like, see, academic bank of credits is there. Some universities have got one subject in second semester. Some other university has got the subject in their third semester. So I want to exit first year in this place and go to some other university in say Madhya Pradesh. There the same subject is there in the third semester. I already got credits for this subject in my second semester in X university in say Andhra Pradesh. I can't do the same course in that in the Y university in Madhya Pradesh and claim credits. So there has to be proper mapping. So in academic bank of credits also, I mean this the policy document doesn't spell. This is a very practical way how I feel based on the my experience of dealing with international student transfer. Right. So when you send, they have to do some course mapping. Yes, the student has done some courses. The course what he has done in second semester is there now third semester. So this course, instead of this course, the student has to do some other course. So that kind of course mapping has to be done. Some additional work. It's not like you pick and place from here to there. I think that will not work out because a lot of flexibility is given to the student.
One more question.
Yeah.
Professor Dr. G. Venugopal. Sir, what about NEP policy on standalone institutions like NAR, BPR, AIMA, ISTD, NIPM? What about the NEP policy on standalone institutions?
See, other key areas is one part 3 of this policy document. It speaks of general technical institutions, other professional educations, other professional education institutions, right? Part 3. There also categorically doesn't speak of these standalone institutions, right? The same policy document, whatever is there, can be applied. See, as I was mentioning, down the line, the policy document envisions only university. No, standalone means we are speaking of unitary universities. That's what it means. Unitary university or standalone universities, deemed to be universities, will be slowly phased out. That is the grand plan of the document. So when over the line, if they all these are going to be termed as a single university with the term university, and the classification is going to be research intense or teaching intense or affiliated means degree awarding colleges, probably the same document should actually be implemented. That's the way it should work out.
Sir, Dr. Sandeep.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, 2 o'clock I've got a class, academic class. I did not take my lunch. So probably 1 or 2 more questions we can take, and other
Sir,
questions
otherwise,
probably you can.
I will send the questions to your email, sir. Tomorrow you can answer them.
Yeah. We can do
Or,
that.
shall we
Sorry.
proceed?
All the participants, I'm sorry. See, this 12 to 1:30 slot. 2 o'clock
Today
I've
is
got a lab
actually higher
actually.
education, right, sir? So there are more
Correct.
questions today.
No, if we want, see,
comparatively
probably tomorrow's session, initially we can try to address some of those questions. Yeah, and then we
Okay, sir.
can move forward. Oh, no, ma'am, I can take one more question. No problem.
Okay, fine.
Please. Yes. 1:45 we can go forward.
Dr. Sandeep Singla, what NEP talks about NCC, NSS crediting in UG programs?
Yeah, we can do that, sir. It speaks of community engagement. It doesn't specifically use the word NCC, NSS. Those terminology are not used, but then we can directly deduce from that community engagement. Credits should be given for social engagement, life labs. We can definitely give credits for it. That's what institutional autonomy, curriculum autonomy. It can be definitely be included in it.
Sir, one more question, sir. Last question.
Yeah,
If
please.
Bachelor of Technology is offered instead of specializations, how the graduate can fit into the job of different?
See, the curriculum has to be designed like that. See, this is a thought experiment which came to my mind, right? And there was a debate also actually when I met the stalwarts in the field. There was a debate also. I participated in a debate how the mad race only to one specific stream, right? Few days people are after say circuit branches, ECE, triple E. It is in boom. For few years say CSE is in boom. The cycle goes up and down, up and down. So the curriculum has to be designed in such a way. Okay, 100% weightage is there. In that say 30% of the weightage is given for computer science. So what you get is now today's engineer, what happens is a computer engineer, CSE graduate, he doesn't know how to fit a bulb. He doesn't know how to change a spark plug in his this. And as a mechanical engineer or an EC engineer, he doesn't know how to write a basic program of CSE. So this is what the hard separations between the disciplines have to be erased. That is what multidisciplinarity, as some other faculty was asking, multidisciplinarity is not in the spectrum of courses what the university offers. It is the spectrum of courses which are offered in the curriculum. So with the existing system, you can't do it. So you have to see the industry requirements. Based on that, how much weightage are you giving? Say 50% weightage you give to computer science courses, say 30% to circuit branches. Means the number what I'm saying need not be a exact number, but the proper proportion of each of these courses have to be done so that you get a bachelor of technology. He can fit into a company of, say, software, or he can fit into a mechanical company. He is industry ready. And specific training of, say, 1 year or so can be given by the company now, because he has got the basics. So that is the way how actually India can develop into a holistic, means move forward, and it can contribute to knowledge economy. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
On behalf of organizing committee, I would express sincere thanks to our honorable chairman, principal, our head, our technical team, and all the participants. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful day. And before closing the session, I just want to tell the participants, if they have any sort of questions, they can post it in the YouTube link. We will take the questions from there, and we will send it to the speaker, so that at least in the next session they will be clarified. Thank you all. Yeah, you can leave the session. Thank you.